Have you ever looked down at a massive stretch of empty Ozark forest and realized you were flying right over a forgotten city? These hills are filled with spots where nature is aggressively swallowing the remnants of human ambition. Join us as we uncover the stories left behind and listen to the echoes of the Ozarks. Welcome to a brand new chapter here on Ozark Drone Adventures. You guys have been loving the Ozark Files, but today we are launching a completely new series called Echoes of the Ozarks. So what exactly is Echoes of the Ozarks all about? In this series we are dedicated to tracking down the forgotten history hidden beneath the canopy, venturing into long abandoned places, structural ruins, and complete ghost towns that time forgot. My goal is to give you perspective that few ever get to see. Whenever possible, I will be heading out into the field to record these incredible locations firsthand, but some of these spots are deeply isolated, dangerous, or sitting on heavily restricted private land. In those cases, when I can't physically get to the location, I'll be using cutting-edge AI generation to bring the history to life right on our screen. No matter what it takes, we are going to uncover the stories these woods are trying to hide. But before we launch, I have a massive milestone challenge for this channel. We are tracking down these forgotten locations, and we are just a handful of clicks away from hitting 200 subscribers. If you love seeing the hidden, overgrown history that the forest has tried to swallow up, hit that subscribe button right now. Help us clear this milestone so we can unlock bigger expeditions deep into these hills. Now let's get into it. If you look deep into the woods of North Carter County, near Fremont, you'll find the concrete bones of what was once the largest town in the county. With the help of war funding, the town practically blew up overnight. Today, it's an absolute ghost town, swallowed whole by the wilderness. What turned this booming powerhouse into a silent graveyard almost overnight? Stick around because we're about to fly deep into the hidden history of Midco, Missouri. Long before Uncle Sam took notice, this was a high-stakes gamble by private businessmen. In 1917, a wealthy Kansas City investor named Frank Larrabee realized the true value hidden in the rural Ozarks. He teamed up with Chicago businessman George Peck, leasing 3,700 acres of land right off the edge of what is now known as the Peck Ranch. Larrabee formed the Mid-Continent Iron Company, built a private rail spur to connect the valley to the Frisco Railroad, and set his heights on a massive 100-ton per day industrial smelter. When the United States entered World War I, the federal government stepped in with massive funding, investing $1.4 million in wartime money to build a state-of-the-art chemical plant right on top of Larrabee's operation. Midco wasn't just producing pig iron anymore. They were clear-cutting the surrounding forest to burn into charcoal, using a complex chemical process to harvest wood alcohol and acetate to coat the canvas wings of Allied warplanes. Living in Midco during these peak months was an intense mix of rugged frontier life and sudden industrial modernism. Because the town went up practically overnight, hundreds of laborers lived in a sprawling canvas tent city where permanent wooden houses were rapidly built around them. The valley was loud, smoky, and constantly buzzing with energy. By day, the air was thick with a scent of burning charcoal and the screech of wood saws. But by night, the town came alive in a surprisingly modern way. Workers could wash off their grime and head to the local movie theater, shop for supplies at the massive company commissary, or gather at the community pool hall. For a brief moment, this isolated valley felt less like the deep backwoods and more like a fast-forward boomtown on the cutting edge of the American war effort. But Midco's incredible boom was tragically short-lived. In the fall of 1918, just as the plant was fully coming online, the Spanish flu pandemic tore through the Ozarks. Midco was hit worse than almost any other rural town in Missouri. The worker housing was crowded, with hundreds of single laborers packed into makeshift tents and cabins with no one to take care of them. At one point, federal agents reported the entire operation was at a complete standstill because nearly the entire workforce and guards were bedridden. Dozens died in the matter of weeks. The town never truly recovered from the tragedy. When World War I ended shortly after, the government's demand for war materials plummeted. Larrabee's Iron Company bought out the government's share, but economic shifts and the crashing iron market sealed its fate. By 1921, the fires were blown out, the machinery was silenced, and the entire population packed up and walked away. Midco became a ghost town practically overnight. Now, it's important to note that the land where Midco once stood is currently private property. Out of respect for the landowners, I wasn't able to get any first-hand close-up footage of the ruins for today's video. But if I ever get the official opportunity to explore the grounds in the future, you can bet we will absolutely revisit Midco for part 2. Even from a distance, the forest has completely reclaimed the valley, but the concrete foundations refuse to disappear. Standing as a silent sentinel above it all is the giant 165-foot smokestack surrounded by cinder slag, spreading thistle, and the eerie ruins of the old blast furnace facilities. It makes you wonder what it felt like to be here during those final days in 1921, watching the last train pull out of the valley. Now I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever stumbled across a ghost town or an abandoned structure hidden deep in the woods? If you have, where was it and what did you find? Let me know your stories down below. If you want to see more hidden Ozark history from a perspective few ever get to see, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that like button. Help us hit that 200 subscriber milestone. Thanks for flying with Ozark Drone Adventures, and we'll catch you on the next flight.